Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing well today. This time we are going to be talking about Final Fight. I'm not playing the SNES version just because I haven't really unpacked everything yet. So we are going to be playing this on the Xbox, and this is from the Capcom Beat-em-up bundle. This version and the Sega CD version are probably the two versions of Final Fight that I think I would probably recommend because they actually have all the characters in them and they're more closer to what the arcade would look like. You can also just download the ROM and play it on MAME as well, so you got a lot of options to play Final Fight now. The SNES port is not that great, in my opinion. It's a fun game still, but it's one player only, and you're missing, I believe, Guy. Unless you got the very specific version, Final Fight Guy, which includes Guy, but leaves out another character. It's kind of annoying, but, whatever. It still works, it's a great game. I think at this point, most people know that Final Fight was originally going to be a sequel to Street Fighter, and you find a lot of similarities between it. You'll find a few cameos from other Capcom characters, like Chun-Li is in here, and you also see a lot of people who would end up in future Street Fighter games. This is just a classic arcade beat 'em up. You got your three characters, and your goal is to save, not really a princess, but save someone's girlfriend. I'm going to mess it up. I believe it's Cody's girlfriend, and Mayor Mike Hagar's daughter. I'm guessing that I would really have liked to have known the backstory to how that worked out, like how Mike Hagar and Cody got to know each other, but whatever. That's just something that I would like to dig into. I also want to point out the sleeveless hoodies that are worn by Jay, and then I can't remember the other guy's character, but one of them has like this orange-green one that has like a dragon design on the back, and then Jay has the yellow and blue one with kind of like the toxic symbol, and it just says bad. I really wanted those hoodies. I have no idea why, I just thought they were really awesome. And I went around trying to find them at one point and just could not find those anywhere. So if anybody knows where I could get some Final Fight merch, specifically those two, let me know. I never got a chance to play Final Fight in the arcades, which is kind of a shame because I think it would have been right up my alley to play. What I did do, or what I did when I did play it was, I think I started with Final Fight 2 because it was when my friend Drew had started collecting games, and he collected all three Final Fights back when they were cheap and easy to find, I guess. Now they're just kind of a pain in the ass to get a hold of, like a lot of retro games. But that's besides the point. I don't want to get into that at the moment. I remember playing it at his house, just having a lot of fun going through it, and then trying to find them on my own. That happened quite a bit whenever we would play games over at his place. Thankfully that we're on these guys now. 2P was the guy with the orange and green one, which is a cool looking hoodie. I'm sorry that I'm getting back into it, but I kind of like the blue and yellow one a bit more. I just think that one looks kind of awesome. One thing that I was thinking about when I was going through this is how many of these people are actually in the gang? Like how many of them are in this criminal organization, and how many are just like random people that happen to be there, and you walk up and you just start punching the shit out of them. So it's kind of understandable that they would fight back. Like I get Abigail here and the Andre or Andror guys. I understand those people being bad guys, but like some of them are just sitting on park benches minding their own business, and you just walk up and start beating the shit out of them. It's like those guys that were in the public bathroom we walked through. a lot of those guys were probably just walking out of the bathroom, hadn't even had a chance to wash their hands yet, and you start punching these poor dudes in the face. Like, they didn't ask for any of that, but, here you are just beating them up. I also do wonder how many of these people voted for Mike Hagar to be mayor. Because he's the mayor, by the way. So, this guy's just wandering around shirtless in the streets, beating the crap out of his own citizens. I can see some of the people that didn't vote for him going, wow, he's a really tough leader. He's literally fighting crime. And other people that, maybe voted for him. And like I mentioned earlier, we're just hanging out on a park bench and you're beating the shit out of them. So that guy's probably not going to vote for you again. But I can see other people like just really getting after it, really deciding, that's the leader that I want. Someone who is literally going to fight crime and make the police just look even more like a joke than they already do in this city. And having like a pro wrestler, like a former pro wrestler who actively is still beating people up, not in the ring where it's a little bit more scripted and you have to work with the other person, but actually fighting people, that's got to make budget negotiations really, really kind of frightening. Because if if you're like one of the unions here and you try to like fight back and say, well, no, we deserve this amount of money, you don't know if Mike Hagar's gonna, be okay with that, or if he's gonna show up at wherever you're negotiating from, and he's just gonna start punching you in the throat. Like, you didn't ask for that. You just want some more money for your school or whatever. But yeah, those are weird things that are going through my mind now. Back in the day, I didn't care. I just loved playing beat-em-ups like this. Anyway, this game is a lot easier now than when I played it on the SNES. Probably because you have like infinite continues. You don't have to worry about running out of quarters. You don't have to worry about three continue limit or anything. You can just keep playing it. But that's one of the advantages of having the beat 'em up bundle. I seem to remember there were limited continues on the Sega CD port, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, guys, that was the first Final Fight. It's awesome. I really love that beat 'em up. There's just something about that formula, a handful of stages, 3 different characters you can pick from. I think 4 or 5 is probably the best one for it, because it seems to work pretty well. But with 3, it's pretty great too. This was one of those things that I would have loved to have played in the arcades, but just never really got a chance to do so. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd really love to know what you guys think about Final Fight. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Bye, everybody.